this short video, we're going now to look at running GGIR to generate some physical activity sleep data. So let's say we've done part one, so we've got our milestone file, and so we're going to do some processing based upon that. So for mode here, I've got rid of the number 1 that we had in there before, and I'm going to ask GGIR to run parts 2, 3, 4 and 5. If you wanted to run parts 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 right from the raw file, that's absolutely fine to do that as well. Now, for us to run GGIR in this way without the raw file being present, a couple of things. It's advised that study name corresponds to the location of the initial data directory, so they're both called test. And the other thing to note is that for this to run smoothly, you need this folder called QC, which is quality control. Now at the moment QC is empty, that doesn't matter, but GGIR will look for this folder when it's trying to run the subsequent parts 2, 3, 4 and 5, so it needs to be there. Okay, so we'll see as we run through some other folders and files are generated as GGIR gets to work. Okay, so we will come back to this window as we run through this. So we've got it all set up, we've checked our parameters, so I've just made a few tweaks to the script here. So I want this time to look at 24-hour day, so the minimum number of valid hours per day is 16. So I've just made that little change there in the script. Okay, so without any further ado, we've saved that earlier. So I'm going to click on source and we'll see the progress in this console window here. So again, it gets to work. Let me just look at. So straight away it's generated. So I've asked for this CSV output file, so it's created a folder there for that, and it creates these output files for each part as it goes through. So straight away there's more data being populated here, and we can see what's going on this side as well. So let's put that there. Here's our stop clock so we can look at this. So as you can see, part 2 doesn't take long at all. That was what, probably less than 20 seconds. So it's done part 3, generating part 4. Part 5 is where it's going to merge activity in a sleep day, so that's usually takes a little bit longer. If there are errors, oh there we go. So that took about a minute to do that. So all done, so it's telling us it's reporting. When we get this flashing cursor here, that tells us that the processing has been completed. So now what we've got is we've got our output meta basic folder here. That's a milestone file which everything was based upon. We asked for a CSV output which is generated there. That you don't actually need that. And then for each part it generates a milestone file, separate milestone file. And we've got sleep there as well, and that's a visual output for sleep. And then we've got the results folders here. So we've got our quality control and then plots of quality control, that's for wear time, so we can take a look at that to inspect the data. And then GGIR generates, let's just make this a little bit bigger. So it generates for each part 2, 4 and 5, some summary files, which we'll take a quick look at in the next video.